These are the most overrated cars of 2025. Sorry if your car made the list, because somehow they convinced us to empty our wallets for what turned out to be rolling disappointments on 4 wheels. Today we're destroying 10 cars that fooled everyone, including you. Buckle up, this is gonna hurt. Starting at number 10 is the Ford Mustang Mach-E. This is Ford's biggest identity crisis since the Edsel. They took America's most iconic muscle car name and slapped it on a soccer mom SUV. It's like naming your goldfish Tyrannosaurus Rex. The Mach-E isn't fast enough to be a Mustang, isn't practical enough to be an SUV, and definitely isn't cheap enough to justify existing. Ford basically created automotive gender dysphoria and charged you 60 grand for the privilege. The infotainment crashes more than a teenage driver, and the build quality screams assembled during a lunch break. But hey, at least it has a horse logo, right? At number 9 is the Genesis GV70. Genesis desperately wants to be BMW so badly, they're basically that kid who bought fake Yeezys and hoped nobody would notice. The GV70 looks expensive, feels expensive, but drives like a Hyundai wearing a dinner jacket, because that's exactly what it is. They slapped some leather on a Korean crossover and added 20 grand to the price tag. The luxury interior falls apart faster than your New Year's resolutions. Door panels rattle, screens freeze, and the seats wear out quicker than your patience with this thing. Genesis spent more on their logo than their quality control, and it shows. Next on the list is the Cadillac Lyriq. Cadillac's electric experiment looks like it was designed by someone who's never seen a car before, just really expensive furniture. The Lyriq is what happens when you let interior designers build vehicles. Gorgeous? Absolutely. Functional? That's adorable that you'd think so. The charging network is more fictional than Marvel movies. Good luck finding a station that actually works with their temperamental charging port. It's like VW hired the people who design airport security systems to build their cars. Congratulations, you've made driving as enjoyable as a root canal. Number 6 is the Volvo XC90. Volvo built their reputation on safety. Apparently, they forgot about everything else. The XC90 is what happens when you rest on your laurels for 20 years. It's safer than Fort Knox, but more boring than watching paint dry in slow motion. The engine has less personality than a DMV employee. The infotainment system crashes more than Windows 95. And the price? They're charging luxury money for Swedish depression on wheels. Volvo somehow made a family SUV feel like riding in a very expensive, very slow ambulance. At least when it inevitably breaks down, you're already in the right vehicle for a hospital visit. Moving on at number 5, we have the Rivian R1T. Rivian fooled everyone with camping gear and outdoor vibes. Turns out the only thing this truck is good at camping is your driveway, because it won't start. The R1T is what happens when Silicon Valley bros try to build trucks. They added every gadget imaginable, but forgot basic things like working reliably and not bankrupting your savings account. The air suspension fails more than my diet plans. The software updates take longer than actual camping trips. And the build quality? Let's just say Legos have better fitment. It's basically a $100,000 tech demo that occasionally pretends to be a truck. Rivian convinced investors they were the next Tesla. They're actually the next Theranos, with wheels. At number 4, Mercedes EQS. Mercedes slapped their 3-pointed star on a melted bar of soap and called it luxury. The EQS looks like it was designed by someone having a fever dream about the future. It's aerodynamic, sure. If your goal is boring people to death through visual anesthesia, inside, they replaced buttons with touchscreens because apparently, tactile feedback is so last century. Want to adjust your mirrors? Navigate 3 menus while questioning your life choices. The reliability is more questionable than gas station sushi. For $120,000, you get the privilege of visiting the dealer more than your own mother. Mercedes basically created a very expensive way to hate technology. At number 3, we have Hyundai Ioniq 6. Hyundai tried to build a luxury sedan and ended up creating automotive ambient instead. The Ioniq 6 has great range, perfect for driving long distances away from this disappointing purchase. It looks like a concept car that gave up on life halfway through production. The interior is more cramped than coach class on Spirit Airlines. The trunk fits maybe 2 grocery bags if you're optimistic. For $50,000, you're basically buying a very efficient way to regret your financial decisions. Hyundai proved you can have all the technology in the world and still create something as exciting as watching grass grow in real time. Congratulations, that's actually impressive. Up next is the BMW iX. These electric flagship looks like someone sneezed on a regular SUV and called it Design Evolution. The iX has kidney grills bigger than actual kidneys. They're so massive, they create their own weather patterns. BMW somehow made their iconic design language look like a genetic experiment gone wrong. The interior screams, "We spent all our money on the grills." The software is buggier than a summer camping trip. And the price? They're charging $90,000 for the privilege of driving their midlife crisis. BMW used to make the ultimate driving machines. Now they make the ultimate disappointment machines, with really, really big nostrils. The last guy on the list is the Tesla Model 3 Performance, the king of overrated cars. Tesla convinced everyone that speed equals greatness. They were wrong. The Model 3. Performance is faster than common sense and about as reliable. It accelerates like a rocket and falls apart like tissue paper. The build quality is so bad, Legos look precision engineered by comparison. Elon promised revolutionary transportation. He delivered expensive iPads that occasionally wheeze forward. The interior looks like someone robbed an Apple store and glued everything to a dashboard. But here's the real kicker. People still buy them. Tesla didn't just build overrated cars. They built a cult that worships mediocrity at premium prices. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most overrated thing of all. Think I'm wrong? Your comment section therapy session starts below. Subscribe if you enjoy watching dreams get crushed. Mine or yours.